is not your orientation program. This is only the registration program today we have. But we have 3 speeches. One is by the Dean Faculty of Engineering. Since I have a loud voice, even my wife complains that I use the same level of voice in home also, right? Okay. So we have 3 speeches today. Those are actually some kind of introductory lectures or kind of information for you. One is by the Dean Faculty of Engineering. So he will talk about the important things for your, you have to stay 4 years here, so you should know a lot of things. The second one will be done by the Deputy Registrar Examinations and Registration, so that you should know what are the rules of examinations. Come please. Right, so the registration process, so those things you should know. So she will come after the Dean's address, and then we have Senior Assistant Registrar Welfare. There you will get some information about Mahalo, the bursaries, and other welfare facilities. Can you please come forward? We have enough seats here. Right, so those are the things that you will have today in the morning before the registration. So I would like to invite Professor Nalin Wickramarachchi. He is our Dean, the Faculty of Engineering. So, Dean, Faculty of Engineering, is a professor in electrical engineering, right? I was also one of his students when I was studying in, I think it was in 1996 or somewhere. I hope you were not born at that time.
Thank you, thank you. Right, good morning to all of you again. I will just introduce you to the Faculty of Engineering, where you will be a student for the next 4 years. So we are the largest engineering faculty in the country. So you have been admitted to not only University of Moratuwa, but the largest engineering faculty, which means not by a small margin, by a very big margin, we are more than double the size of the next largest. So remember, you will be one of the students out of 953 in your batch, which you have to remember always, because we have a very large number of students in our faculty, altogether 4,000 students in all 4 years. Therefore, we do most of our procedures, functions, rules and regulations online, because we cannot reach each and every student individually because of our size. So you have quite a lot of things to learn. Few of those things I will tell you today. Faculty of Engineering is not only the largest engineering faculty, it is the second largest faculty among all the faculties in the country as well. The faculty comprises of 12 academic departments. We have about 200, more than 200 very highly qualified staff to teach you, all of them qualified in engineering. And also we have about 400 supporting staff. Supporting means they will support you to do your laboratory experimentation, your demonstration works in the laboratories, assignments, and marking of assignments, etc. They are the supporting staff. And something that you should know at the very beginning is the degree that you are going to get at the end of 4 years. And your degree would be, of course, Bachelor of Science of Engineering degree, right? But at the end of that, you will have a field. Right now, you don't have it, right? You are just Bachelor of Science of Engineering student. But usually, we have different fields of disciplines. We have civil engineering, computer science and engineering, chemical engineering, and so on. You will be divided into that at a later stage. I will tell you how to do that. But remember, this is only one degree that we offer in the faculty. There are two other degrees, undergraduate degrees, the Bachelor of Design degree in Fashion Design and Product Development, offered by the Textile and Clothing Department. Then we have Bachelor of Science degree in Transport and Logistics Management, offered by the Transport and Logistics Management Department. Those are different departments, and the students' intake to those departments will come separately. And you are in the first group, this group. So your degree will definitely be one of these, Bachelor of the Science of Engineering degree. Always remember that. And the faculty, of course, offers not only undergraduate degrees, it offers postgraduate degrees as well. Those are degrees beyond your first degree. You have to know this because we offer Master of Science, Master of Engineering, Master of Philosophy, Master of Business Administration, which is MBA degree, and this is the PhD, Doctor of Philosophy. This is important because today we find that most of the undergraduate students get at least one more postgraduate degree, at least Master of Science or Master of Engineering. So remember, this is not the end of your education. You have more degrees coming in your future. So it's important that in order to get one of these degrees, you have to get a very good pass in first degree. It's very important that you have a good pass in first degree, which means that you have to get either first class, second class upper, second class lower kind of degree, because your degree has a class. Remember that. You will learn them later. Right. What is our goal? When we teach our student, we have a goal. Our goal is to produce world-class graduates who are readily employable and earn high regard from the engineering industry. Basically, we focus on the industry. From the very inception of engineering faculty at University of Moratuwa, we had a very strong industry background, because we were a technical college 50 years before we became a university. So our linkage with the industry was very, very strong, and even today we have an extremely strong industrial relationship. And we make sure that all our students are readily employable and they are well in demand from the industry, so that our students will find a job as soon as they graduate. That is our goal, and which is the case always. Our students have no problem finding a good job in the industry. So you are lucky that you found admission to University of Moratuwa. But that's not the only thing. We also strive to inculcate entrepreneurship culture among our graduates as a matter of priority. What does this mean? That means we want you not only to seek a job, but also to create jobs. That means to start your own business. It's not a dream only. There are already many students, just after passing out, they start their own technological business rather than working under someone else. It's a nice thing to do if you can. Not everybody can. But we have many companies already started by the universities and doing very well. So at least some of you must try to be an innovator, to be a creator. If you have a good idea that you can think you can sell, why not start a business? That is something we encourage. And you will learn again more about that later as we go along. So that's our goal. As I mentioned earlier, we have 10 different departments here. And these departments are the ones that you will be assigned after your first semester. That will be your field of specialization. In the first semester, you have no field of specialization. You are a common engineering student. And all of you, all 723 students in the common batch will learn the same subject modules. And at the end of the first semester, you will be divided into one of these first 7 categories. We have chemical and process engineering. We have civil engineering, computer science and engineering, electrical engineering, electronics and telecommunication engineering, biomedical engineering under the same department, material science and engineering, and mechanical engineering. Those are the fields. One of them you have to select at the end of your first semester examination. And the last 3, the earth resource engineering, textile and clothing technology, including fashion design and product development, and transport and logistics management are 3 departments which have direct intake. That means they will take students directly. They have already taken students directly. So you will not be assigned to those 3. You will be assigned to one of these 3. That of course depends on your choice and your performance. And in addition to those departments, we have 2 more departments. We call them service departments because they do not have a student intake. They are the Department of Mathematics and Department of Languages. And as the name suggests, the Department of Mathematics will teach you all the mathematics courses in the Faculty of Engineering. So remember, your mathematics is not going to end at the A levels. Still you have to learn quite a lot of mathematics. There are a lot of mathematics courses in engineering, and some of them will be taught by the department, some of them, most of them in the first 2 years will be taught by the Department of Mathematics. And then Department of Languages has particularly English language courses. They will help you with English language because we know that up to A level most of you have done your education in your mother tongue. And in the university, all the engineering educations, everything that we do will be in the English medium. So this English language department is there to help you with your conversion to English language. There are special courses for weak students as well as common courses. Not only English, the Department of Languages conduct some other foreign language courses as well. We find them, they are very popular with students. You can elect to do those courses if you like. In addition to departments, the faculty is divided, the services of the faculty are divided into 5 different divisions. We call them divisions. The first one is the most important one that you will come across, which is the Undergraduate Studies Division. Undergraduate Studies Division handles all your undergraduate matters, academic matters, which means your registration not only for the course, you have to register for the subjects every semester. If you are not registered for a subject, you cannot sit for the examination. And as I mentioned earlier, this registration for subject modules happen online. So all those matters are under the Undergraduate Studies Division. If you want to take a leave of absence, then again Undergraduate Division has a form. You have to fill that because you have to get official leave. If you fall sick and if you cannot come to the examination, again they have a procedure. Undergraduate Studies Division is the one that you have to go there and fill the form. So basically all your official matters will be handled by Undergraduate Studies Division, the director of which, Dr. Chulanta Jayawardena, will talk to you today about the services available today. And the other one, the Industrial Training Division, will handle your industrial placement, because as a part of your engineering education, we will assign you to industry for 6-month period. That's an essential part of industrial training, is essential part of engineering education. So we will find you placements, you don't have to find. All 950 students will be assigned a place in the industry. That will happen in the 3rd year, of course, not now, and that will be done by the Industrial Training Division. The other divisions have nothing to do with you, because Postgraduate Studies Division is for the postgraduate students. Then Quality Assurance Cell is to make sure that all our procedures, rules, regulations happen according to certain standards. And Engineering Research Unit is to dissemination the knowledge that our research students do. Right, I will briefly go through the BSc Engineering degree course. It's a 4-year academic course. You know already it is 4 years. It has a total of 150 credits. We go by the credits like all other universities in the industry. 150 credits is needed to get the degree. So you have to register for 150 credits at least and pass from all those courses. At the end of 4 years, you must have 150 credits to get the degree. And the 4 academic years are divided into 8 semesters. That means 2 semesters every year. Each semester is about 18 weeks long, including examination, study breaks, and the period where we do the lectures and practicals. In addition, as I mentioned, there is 24 weeks of industrial placement, which will happen in your 3rd year, at the end of the 3rd year. This is very important part, of course, which also earns you credit, and each of you must have a at least pass grade for the in-plant training, because you will be evaluated. At the end of the training, there will be a evaluation. One other important thing is, all our departments have IESL recognition. Have you heard of IESL? Do you know what it is? Never heard? IESL is Institute of Engineers, Sri Lanka. IESL recognition is necessary for you to become an engineer. Unless you have a degree from a IESL recognized course, the law of this country is that you cannot be an engineer. Just like you cannot be a doctor without a degree from a medical council approved course. Similarly, engineers are same. You cannot call yourself an engineer unless you have a degree from a IESL recognized course. So all our courses are IESL recognized. And most of our courses are Washington Accord accredited as well, which means you have international level recognition, not only because IESL is only for the country, because it's Institute of Engineers Sri Lanka, but Washington Accord accreditation is an international level accreditation, which almost all of our departments also have. So you earn an international level recognized degree at the end of 4 years. As I mentioned, of course, you will be divided into the departments, one of those 7 departments at the end of the first semester. And the division, of course, is based on your preferences and performance. We try to give you whatever you prefer, but sometimes some departments are more popular than we can accommodate in that department. So in that case, the performance of the first semester is important. I think you know, most of you know already that your selection of a field happens after the first semester depending on your preference and performance. And more of that you will learn from the speech by the Director of Undergraduate Studies. Right. Then few information. I want all of you to read this book, Faculty Handbook. You will receive a printed copy of the Faculty Handbook during the orientation. Orientation will start from next week, next Monday. So during that you will receive a printed handbook, but you don't have to wait until next week. This handbook is available online already in our learning management system called LMS, and you can access, all of you can access that. I will tell you how to access it. It's very important reading because this book has quite a lot of information that a new student should know. Okay, how do you access our online? Remember, all your access to online resources are controlled by one single username and one single password. Already you have received the university email and you have received, already you have a username, and your username is your surname with the initials .19@uom.lk. That is your email. That is, if your name is ABC Pereira, then your username is Pereira ABC .19. So you can guess already what your username is. And just add @uom.lk at the end, then you will have your email. Now how to access your email is through this link. https, remember it is https web.mail.um.lk. If you go to there and log in with this one, of course, you will need a password to log in. But don't worry, if you don't remember or if you have not received your default password, there is a link called I forgot my password. When you click that link, you will get a SMS to your mobile phone with the password for the first time. And then the first thing you have to do is change your password to your personal, whatever you prefer. You will be asked to change your password, which will happen with any, because this is very, very important, because all your registration, course registration, semester registration, every function will done at the using the same username and password, and under this system we call it LMS, Learning Management System. So the first thing that you have to do today when you go home maybe to access this LMS MRT AC LK. I will show you how it looks. Yeah, this is how the LMS looks. This is where you put the username. I have put my username there. And you put the password. And if you don't, as I mentioned earlier, if you don't know the password, click here, forgot my password. Because we know your mobile number already, which is in our records, so you will get SMS. And then log in. Once you log in, you will go to this screen. That is Learn Oak. There are a whole lot of functions that you can do here. You will learning about these things later. This is where you register for the courses and everything. But right now what you have to do is go to this place. There is something called Moodle. When you click this link here, then you will go to this page, which is another system. We call it Learn Oak, Moodle. That is our course management system. All the resources for the courses that you register are in this system. So under this system, basically, right now you have, all of you are registered for one single course. Automatically, we have registered you for one single course, and that is this one. You will get into this one. Which is, so this is our learning management system. This is the orientation 2019. That's a course you are already registered. So up to this point you can come, because if you know your username and you log into system, you can come here. And then this page you have already, we have put a lot of information. You can see one of the first thing you will need is, there is a video how to log in, which you have done already if you come here. But I want you to go through this one, course registration via Learn Oak. This video will tell you how to register for the semester 1 courses, which is the next thing you have to do. You have to register for all the semester 1 courses, which you have to do, each of you have to do separately. Because at the beginning of every semester you have to register. If you are not registered, you will be in big trouble. There are deadlines. So even for semester 1, there will be a deadline. Of course, there is enough time for you in this case. So please register and use this help video to learn how to register for the courses. And then if you go down further, you will see a link here, Student Guide for Learn.org, Digital Learning Environment. You can read all, and this is what I said earlier, Engineering Faculty Handbook is here. So you can download it from this link, or you can read it on the system itself, which is the Engineering Handbook. And also you can learn about the campus map is already there. You can learn where the buildings are, where the lecture rooms are, and so on. So those things are basically your homework today. Okay? Right. Getting back to the presentation. So I hope you, because most of the, I think several hundred students have already done that. I can see from the online resources. Right, your orientation program starts from 6 January, that is next Monday. All of you must attend the orientation program. It's compulsory. It teaches you how to become successful university student. There are very, very important information for you, which is very important because university environment is very different from school environment. In the university environment, you are basically alone. There are a lot of rules, lot of regulations, lot of deadlines that you have to learn. And there will be nobody coming behind you telling that you have to do these things. But all the informations are available either online or on notice boards. So you have to learn yourself and do your things yourself. Because now, remember, you are no longer a school kid, you are an adult. So you are responsible for whatever you do. Not only for registrations, etc., but making sure that you don't break any university rules. We have very severe punishments as well. So you have to know the rules and regulations of the university. I will just tell you one simple rule. For example, if we catch a student copying at the exams, our regulations tell that you will be banned from the university for 2 years. That's a very severe punishment. And we do that regularly, unfortunately. It happens. Because you don't want to ruin your life. Therefore, make sure that you know your regulations, and basically Deputy Registrar Examination will tell you even today some of those regulations, but it's up to you to learn them. And of course, after the orientation in the first week, we have 2 weeks of intensive English language course, but this course is only for the selected students because we cannot accommodate all 950 students for this course. Therefore, we have selected certain students who need special English courses. And today, of course, when you enroll, those selected students will receive a letter. And they will get the instructions on this special intensive English course. Other students, of course, can remain home for those 2 weeks. And we start the semester 27th January. Of course, those people who are not selected for the English course, we have a lot of other activities that we have pasted on our orientation course online. You can do them to prepare for the semester. So remember, first semester starts from 27th January. And one last parting word, remember that you are here to earn a degree, but degree is not just a certificate. An engineering degree is only your passport to enter the engineering profession. It will not guarantee that you will be a successful engineer. To become successful as an engineer, you need many more skills other than just the paper qualification, just a certificate. Because engineers has to work in the field. There will be many people working under you. You have to know how to control other people. You have to know how to communicate with other people. You have to know how to communicate your engineering ideas to your superiors. So those are social skills, personal skills, communication skills. All those things you have to learn, not just passing examinations. Of course, we will teach you quite a lot of those things as well. So remember, learning or just textbook learning is not the only thing in engineering. There are a lot of practical skills, lot of soft skills, communication skills, personal skills that you have to learn to become successful. So remember that. And finally, of course, I want all of you to come to the convocation and see you again in 4 years at the convocation with the degree. Okay? I wish you the very best luck. Thank you. No questions වලට වෙලාවක් නැහැ. මම මේක අරන් යනවා. මෙයා කම්පියුටර් එක අරන් ඉදන්න. මේ කම්පියුටර් එක තියෙනවා.
Professor Nalin Wickramaratne, the Dean, Faculty of Engineering. Now, the next speech is by the Senior Assistant Registrar Welfare, Mrs. Shashi Ferreira. Senior Assistant Registrar is normally called SAR, right? So you can't find, if you just ask Senior Assistant Registrar, it is very long sentence, right? So we say SAR Welfare, right? So she will be talking about the welfare facilities you have, like the scholarships, the bursary and other things, right? So now I would like to invite Mrs. Shashi Pereira to talk on the welfare facilities at University of Moratuwa.
Thank you very much, sir. Good morning to you all. I will deliver the presentation on the facilities provided by the university to the students through welfare division. These are the facilities which is important to you to know provided by the university. Those are Mahalo Scholarship, bursaries and other scholarships, canteen facilities, hostel facilities, railway bus concessionary season tickets, student union formation, student activities, events, student confirmation letters, student progress reports, and the recommendations for laptop loans. First, let's talk about Mahalo Scholarship. As I know, you have already sent this Mahalo application to University Grants Commission, and University Grants Commission will select the students for Mahalo Scholarship. After that, they are sending the list to the university. What we are doing is, we are coordinating with Mahalo Scholarship Trust Fund to you to pay the Mahalo Scholarship. The amount of Mahalo Scholarship for merit student is 5,050 rupees, and for the ordinary students, it is 5,000 rupees. If you are an ordinary student, you will be getting 50,000 rupees per year in 10 installments. Then bursary scholarship. So we have already sent this bursary scholarship application to you all. So I request you to fill this application and send the application to University of Moratuwa as soon as possible. Until you are getting Mahalo payments, we are processing these applications, bursary applications inside the university, and the university is selecting the bursary recipients according to the circulars issued by the University Grants Commission. So until you are getting Mahalo payment, these bursary payments are paid by the university. Amount of bursary payment is 4,000 rupees. Accordingly, you will be paid 40,000 rupees per year. One installment is 4,000. That means 10 installments are there per year. Then the canteen facilities, under the administration of Welfare Division, there are 5 canteens, 4 canteens for students and 1 canteen for staff. You can purchase 1 plate of rice at 40,000 rupees, and in staff canteen little bit higher than that. If you want several choices as Chinese, Indian, and Sinhala or fruit juice like that, there is a separate place called food court or central court. You can purchase foods from that area also. And there are several other canteens in the university which is administrated by the departments and clubs and societies also. And the hostel facilities, actually the university has very limited hostel facilities. Therefore, we have to give the hostel facilities for only first year students and fourth year students only. In the university, there are 5 male hostels and 2 female hostels only. If you are not selected for the hostels of university, we have the list of boarding places which is already registered inside the university. We will give you that contact details in the notice board of this civil auditorium building. We have already displayed the details of that, contact details of that private boarding places also. And then we are facilitating to form student unions. Each faculty has student union. Accordingly, 4 faculties, 4 student unions are there. From those office bearers, we are facilitating to form main student union. These student union members can meet the Vice Chancellor every month in this student liaison meeting. The student can talk their issues or any problems, any matters pertaining to them during this liaison committee meeting. Then students, societies and clubs. At the moment, there are 47 student societies and clubs in the university. These clubs and societies and the unions are organizing several events inside the university. To you to conduct that type of events, you have to get the approval from the Deputy Vice Chancellor. As the Welfare Division, we are assisting you to obtain these approvals. And on the other hand, if you are collecting money inside the university, also you have to get the approval from the Deputy Vice Chancellor. You are not allowed to use university logo for t-shirt like that without the approval. So we are assisting you to get the approval. And then other welfare facilities such as providing forms for obtaining railway and bus concession with season tickets. For the students not having the facilities of hostels are allowed to obtain these concessionary season tickets. And the other thing is studentship confirmation letters and progress reports. If you are applying for any other scholarships, you may need these student confirmation letters and also student progress reports. So we are here to give you these student confirmations and student progress letters. The other one is laptop loan facility. Bank of Ceylon is providing these laptop loans for the students. For that, they need our recommendations to you to obtain laptop loans. You have to go to the Bank of Ceylon branch in your area, your residential area, and they will give you a form to fill by the university. You have to bring it to Welfare Division to get the recommendation of the university to obtain laptop loans. Those are the facilities I think that is important to you at the moment. So if you need any help, please come to the Welfare Division. The location of the Welfare Division is the ground floor of new administration building, and the contact details of the division are 2650-769, then 5051-525355, and email address of SAR Welfare, sarwelfare@uom.lk. Please contact me if you need any help. We warmly welcome you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Sashi Pereira. Now we have the next lecture that is done by the Deputy Registrar, Academic and Registration. So she is Mrs. Dineshi Nandasena. And when they are handling this computer issue, right, so that I think you are interested in getting this information, right? So now as the Dean told you that you have already registered for one module in the Moodle, right? So there, this, all this information will be available. So please go to that one, right? So that module, and then you can find all these details. If you want to talk to the SAR, welfare, or any other place, those information will be there.
is the letter.
Thank you very much for this introduction. As per the structure of a university, there are two sections. One is faculties. Faculties are where your study programs are conducted. In addition to that, there are some administrative divisions. As a student, you don't have much involvement with these administrative divisions, but there are two divisions which are extremely useful for you all. One is Student Welfare Division and the other one is the Examinations and Registration Division. You listen to Welfare Division presentation and I am representing the Examinations and Registration Division. There are 15 national universities in Sri Lanka. As per the education policy in Sri Lanka, all students for these universities are selected by the University Grants Commission and it is the apex body. So, you all are also selected by the University Grants Commission, and once we receive the list, Examination and Registration Division has the authority to register you all to the degree programs. We have already communicated what you have to bring for the registration. I hope everybody has brought everything we have communicated, but don't worry, if you have missed any document, we will give you another deadline. Before that deadline, you have to submit all the documents. So after this session, we will register you for 1 academic year, that means for 2 semesters. So at the beginning of the next academic year, you have to register again. That is called annual registration, and we will notify when you have to do the registration again via your batch representative. So we will notify notices on the notice boards. So you have to do the registration again and your record book should be updated. What is the duration of your degree program? 4 years. Then during your stay, you have to do the annual registration 4 times, but if you cannot complete the degree with your batchmates, that means if you have incomplete modules, you have to register for the next academic year as well. You are following a 4 years full-time program, then you have a strong relationship with the university. Since you are a 4 years full-time student here, you can't be away from university as you wish. For an example, if you want to go abroad, you have to obtain proper leave from university. and lodging all the documents that you are going to give us today. We open a personal file for each of you today. So we will maintain all these files until you pass out from the university, and any communication correspondence information during your stay at University of Moratuwa relevant to you is lodged in this personal file. Conduct of examinations. Unlike the other universities, examinations process at University of Moratuwa, it's little bit different, and all the examinations are coordinated by Examinations and Registration Division. That means at the end of each semester, you have to sit for a written examination. Some of the course modules are totally continuous assessment basis, but still majority of the modules have a written component. So at the end of each semester, you have to sit for a written examination. After sitting the examination, in most of the departments, results will display, but they are provisional results. Official results are released by the Examination and Registration Division. At the end of each semester, we will release results, and now we release results directly to your student profiles. After each semester, after releasing results, you can get a result sheet. It is given free of charge. Please be good enough to collect your result sheet from the Examination and Registration Division from the beginning. So don't wait until the last moment. It is given free of charge, and you have to come to the counter because it is given, your result sheet is given to you. Friends can't collect result sheet behalf of you. You have to produce the identity card and you can collect it and keep the record, because sometimes during the semester 7, some students get scholarships. At that time, we can't issue a transcript for you, but if you have the result sheet, you can produce these results, certified copies of result sheets to any university in the world. And after completing all the requirements, we will issue you a transcript. The degree certificate will be issued only after your degrees are conferred at a convocation. There are two major events in the university annually. One is the general convocation and the other one is the annual award ceremony. Convocation, this year we had the convocation for 2014 batch. You are designated as the 2019 batch because your registration number is starting with 19 numbers. We have already communicated you to what is your registration number. It is in the letter which has a barcode starting with 19 numbers. That is your registration number. Please remember it. At the convocation, the student who gets the highest GPA in each department will be given a gold medal. And for an example, the student who gets the highest GPA in the chemical and process engineering department, he will be given a gold medal. That is purely based on the GPA. For each department, we will select a student. And there are two other specific awards. One is every year we select the most outstanding student of the Faculty of Engineering and the the student of most outstanding student of the university. For these students are evaluated based on GPA and as well as based on the extracurricular activities. So please remember those things from the beginning. This is the graduation requirement. I will brief you because this is important to remember from the beginning. During your 4 years' time, you have to earn 150 credits. This is university norm, 135 GPA and 15 non-GPA. This is slightly vary among the department, but this is the university norm. And you have to complete all the compulsory modules, and you have to maintain minimum average of 2 GPA. Last year we found a student. He has completed all the compulsory modules. He has fulfilled all the other requirements as well, but he has earned only 1.99. So he was not included to the graduate list. So remember that. And completion within 8 academic years. You have to complete your degree within 8 years. Otherwise, we will not award the degree. You may feel this is an easy task at this stage. Yes, of course, for most of the students, it is an easy task. You will finish within 4 years. But there are some students who can't complete the degree within 8 years. They have to go so without a degree. And class, if you want a class, you want to complete the degree within 5 academic years. That means you have to complete the degree before the effective date of your juniors. Otherwise, even though you earn a high GPA, you will not be given a class. Bylaw 15. In a country, there are rules and regulations. Likewise, at the university also there are rules and regulations. Most of these rules and regulations at the university are written in bylaws. For an example, there is a bylaw and performance criteria for your degree. Nobody can violate the rules and regulation. So we will give your degree based on this bylaw and performance criteria. Likewise, to conduct of examinations also there is a bylaw. It is bylaw 15. Right now I don't have copies, but after this session, a copy of bylaw will be given to each of you because it is very important. These days you have time, but once your academic program is started, you will be very busy. So during this period, please go through the bylaw and see what are stated, mentioned there, because it is very important. This is the bylaw. I heard your dean was also talking about the bylaw and the punishments because it is very important. And today we will give you a copy, and in that bylaw, there is a table like that, schedule of punishment. Actually, you are a little bit fortunate because last December, this bylaw was revised with reducing the punishments, because earlier the suspension period for copying was 2 years. Now it has been, the minimum punishment has been reduced to 1 year. Anyway, if you get caught with a tiny piece of paper, even though it is relevant to your module or not, there will be a punishment. So don't bring anything to examination halls, because the examination rules at University of Moratuwa are severe. If you get caught, nobody can help you. Your friends, your parents, your lecturer, your head of the department, dean of the faculty cannot help you because it is investigated by an independent committee. So last year, there were 27 recorded examination offense cases. I have seen students were crying, telling different stories, but all the things are not relevant. So please take examinations as a serious matter. And we found a case that is impersonation. There are several categories: disorderly conduct of a minor nature, cheating, disorderly conduct of a grave nature, then copying, then impersonation, then plagiarism. Impersonation means one student is writing behalf of another. There were 2 cases like that during last year. One senior student has instructed one junior to go and sit for the assignment. It's a midterm examination, but even for midterm examination, this bylaw is applicable. Unfortunately, both cases were caught, and the punishment is 3 years suspension. So don't follow such instructions of your seniors. Never do like that. And there is a very important another thing, concession. If you are unable to come for an examination, if you cannot come, you have to inform Senior Assistant Registrar Examination and Registration within 7 days. You can follow above methods, that means by a telegram, by sending a registered letter, via an email or faxing a letter. You can inform. Please write down the email address, sar-exams@um.lk. sar-exams@um.lk. If you cannot come for a written examination or other examination, you have to inform Senior Assistant Registrar Examination within 7 days. And there is an applications are available in Examination and Registration Division. Then you have to fill an application with all proof document. If it's a medical ground, if it is on compassionate ground, for an example, death of a close relative, then you have to prove. You have to prove it with proof documents and fill the application, and you have to submit the application within 1 month. If you have followed the procedure properly and your application is approved by the committee, you will be considered as a first attempt candidate at the next examination. If it is not, you will be considered as a repeat candidate, and the maximum grade you can earn is grade C. If you have applied for a proper concession and it is approved, you can earn the grade as you scored. Otherwise, it's a C. So it is very important at the end if you have a low GPA. And if you take medical leave for a long period, always apply medical leave and get it approved as a medical leave period. Then we calculate that period on top of 8 years. Otherwise, it is not calculated. There are some students like that that is needed for few students, but it is very important to remember from the beginning these minor things. That's all what you have to brief, what I have to brief you. But if you have any clarification, please feel free to come to my office, to Examination and Registration Division. I am available and we are here to serve you. So it is considered as a little bit confidential area. But if you have any clarification, please come and talk. Thank you very much, and I wish you a very happy new year and wish you for the new beginning of your life, and hope to see you without missing anybody, hope to see you all at 2024 convocation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Dinesh. As she said, she is doing a very confidential job there as the deputy registrar at the examination division, right? So there are a lot of things, those are called confidential things, right? So, but whatever she has put there in the presentation is very important for you, right? So please take care of those things during your 4 years, because examination, the violation of examination rules, right? So those are really, really dangerous, right? So you may miss your studentship, or you may get a kind of ban in the university for 5 years. Right? Okay, next presentation will be done by Director Undergraduate Studies. Director Undergraduate Studies is kind of like your boss, right? So whenever you want to request something, you have to go to Director Undergraduate Studies. Let's say, he will talk all these details. Let's say if you are representing a sport in the university, let's say basketball, right? So you have a match in Singapore, Malaysia, right? You have to go overseas. So then you have to request leave. You can't just go tomorrow, right? So you have to get official leave like that, right? So then there is a process that you have to apply for leave, right? So that is one thing, the registration of modules, right? All these things are done by this undergraduate division, and the Director Undergraduate Studies is Dr. Chulanta Jayawardena. So I will invite Dr. Jayawardena to continue the presentation.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nawagamua, for the introduction, and a very good morning to all of you. Let me welcome you all once again to the Faculty of Engineering on behalf of the Undergraduate Studies Division. So from today onwards, all of you are proud members of the University of Moratuwa, and the academics and administrative staff in these premises is always to help you. They are to assist you, they are to guide you to accomplish your goal, which is to obtain the degree in the best possible way. I can guarantee your experience here at the University of Moratuwa would be a really rewarding time. But you have to be having the correct attitude and also commitment to do the work that you are assigned to. Your work is not limited to the academic activities. It should be beyond that, to the extracurricular activities, social interactions, and whatever other things that you have to engage with within these premises, with your colleagues, and maybe sometimes with outside. So make sure that you behave well and also you interact with others accordingly. So let me introduce the Undergraduate Studies Division. It is the place which coordinates most of the activities done by the Faculty of Engineering. The Faculty of Engineering has 3 courses or 3 degree courses currently. One is the Bachelor of Science of Engineering, the other one is the Bachelor of Science of Transport and Logistics Management, TLM, and the third one is the Bachelor of Design degree, which is on Fashion Design and Product Development. So we coordinate with the departments, divisions, and also with you to run the programs smoothly without much of trouble. We operate directly under the Dean of the Faculty of Engineering, and we are located next door to the Dean's office. So the website is there, and if you want to know the location, this is how it appears. It's also available on the Faculty Handbook or the Undergraduate Handbook, which will be delivered by next week. And the soft copy of the handbook is available even now on the online resources. Through Moodle, you can access that, and also in the website, it is available on the UGS. If you look at what activities UGS is conducting, it cannot be limited to these 5, never. But these are the most 5 important things that will be relevant for you or that relates to you. So the module registration is where we start from, and before that there's a lot of other procedures to complete, but in your case, so you register for modules, then next one would be the field familiarization program, which would start with the beginning of the academic activities in semester 1. So as you are in the common intake of engineering, your interest towards the semester 1 end exams will lead you deciding which field of specialization that you are going to continue to. Now these field of specializations all are equally good, and you may understand that once you graduate and go to work in the industry or to continue studies in academia. Anyway, at this level, you are allowed to submit your preferences, which field or which field of specialization that you would like to continue with. And what happens in the process is that at the end of the semester, you are allowed to submit the preferences, and your performance at the semester 1 exam will be evaluated by the field selection committee to assign you to a field. And there will be certain deadlines, very important ones, that you should not forget, because if you could not do things before the deadline approaches, afterwards things are not possible. Things will be frozen. No matter what, that is how we were operating so far, and that will be the things happening in future as well. Next, of course, we have other 2 committees which are very important, which decides the timetables or initiates the timetables, and also the faculty academic committee, which discusses all the issues that students have regarding the academic activities, and also to find all solutions for those. Each of these approvals, as you have heard earlier, whether it's a leave, whether it's a concession, whether it's to register for a module or whatever, you need to complete appropriate forms and submit to the division, and these committees would be going through them to give you a decision. So to work out with these things, we have this web page. This is the current interface that we have, the undergraduate division web page. And on one side you have all the procedures, including bylaws, performance criteria, and curriculum, etc. And on the other side, towards the right hand, you have the notices, which are very important and which determines what are the deadlines for module registration, when would be the examinations, when would be the repeat registrations, etc. And also we have links to all the other important resources, such as the timetables, forms, and so on and so forth. So this is the current arrangement, but you are welcome to give your suggestions if you think any other resource, any other material should be included here. So we will be soon providing a link for feedback, and make sure that we provide constructive feedback to help not only yourself, but also the future generations to come. Now, what happens in your academic program, as you all know, it is of 8 semesters plus 24 weeks of industrial training placement. And all these 8 semesters are of equal length except the semester 6, which is little smaller than others. And if you look at the work distribution or what happens in a semester, is the academic work is normally for 18 weeks. The distribution is 15 weeks of academic work plus 3 weeks of for the exam. Now these 15 weeks will be in 2 segments, and in between there will be a break which is known as the mid-semester break. Now this mid-semester break sometimes doesn't appear exactly at the 8th week. It can go somewhere from the beginning to the end depending on how things fall. So for you, mid-semester break will be most of the time during the April New Year holidays. That is how currently the timetable has been designed. So anyway, the important part in a semester of these 15 weeks is the first 2 weeks. Now even though for semester 1 it is not that critical because you have to register for every module that for the semester 1, semester 2 onwards there will be modules optional, elective and etc. where some of you might take, some of you might not. So in that case the first 2 weeks are very important because that is the time that you can change your module registration. The module registration happens before the start of a semester, but you have given 2 weeks to amend your decision. After those 2 weeks, you are not permitted to change. The only way to change is through an appeal, but those will not be entertained unless the matter is critical. So my recommendation is that if you want to make any changes, make sure that you do those changes within the first 2 weeks of a semester, not afterwards. If you want to add modules afterwards, which is not recommended, it will cost you 1,000 rupees per module. Not only that, if you want to drop a module, that is not permitted. You can only withdraw a module, and that withdrawal has consequences, which means if you withdraw a module, it will appear on your transcript with a W grade. So make sure that you don't get into such uncomfortable situations, but you do follow the rules and regulations which are well established. Now what happens after 15 weeks is that you will be getting a 1 week for examination preparations or reading week. And then the normal examination length is of 2 weeks. So that ends the responsibility for the students mainly. And then the other part is basically for the academics to complete, which means there will be 2 weeks of marking and then another week of moderation. The moderation week is the time that you can look at your initial results and talk to the supervisors or the lecturers if you have any concerns. Afterwards, once finalize the results from the departments, it will be sent to the examinations division. So it will take another week to receive the material and to organize them accordingly. So the next 2 weeks is the total responsibility of the examinations division, which they will be conducting the exam board meetings and finalize your results to be published it as the official result. So theoretically, if everything works well, your result should come in 6 weeks time after the examination. So how it happens, I will let you to experience. But this is what it should happen if you adhere to the schedules that we have defined. The other important thing is, as the semester 1 common intake students, since you are given the opportunity to submit your field of preference, the submission of these preferences will be open starting from the last day of the examination. It will be kept open for 6 weeks until the results are released. So during that time, you can amend your preferences as well. And even after releasing the results, this portal will be kept open for another 2-3 days or few days so that you can make your decisions based on the results that you have obtained. But afterwards, there will be no chance of adjusting your preferences, and you will be evaluated according to what you have submitted by the time that we stop this process. But these things will be well announced and notice boards will be with the details. So make sure that you look at the notices and see where the deadline is and act accordingly. This I will just skip because it's additional information. And the interface that you are most familiar with is this LearnOrg where you register for modules. Since now you have heard these things enough, I will only mention the important thing, which is to check your registration when the lists are there for you to sign and confirm. There won't be any individual sheets coming to all of you, but there would be a list of students and the registered modules available after 2 weeks' time. That is the period after the ad-drop limit. So when you receive the sheet, don't just blindly sign it, just check whether the modules appear correctly, whether anything is inappropriate. Because then and there you need to be available and you need to mention that these things are not in order and these things should be rectified to the relevant people. So look at that sheet very carefully and then complete accordingly. So once you continue to follow a course module or the program, this is how the evaluation happens. More details are available on the performance criteria. But if you look at a summary, the evaluation would happen as continuous assessments or as the final exams or written exams at the end of the semester. There are some modules completely having the continuous assessment only. There's no the final examinations available for those. So make sure that you complete these components according to the modules that you have followed. Because at the end, we can't help you if you have not completed any of these components. The continuous assessment can come in different forms, assessments, quizzes, mid-semester exams, etc. And it all depends on the way the module is conducted. These modules, some of them are GPA, others are non-GPA. As you have seen earlier, 135 is the minimum requirement for GPA credits and 12 or 15 is the minimum requirement for non-GPA. GPA stands for grade point average, which means that module will be influential for your semester grade point average. Non-GPA, the result of that module will not be taken for the calculation of the semester grade point average. That is the difference between GPA and non-GPA modules. But for graduation, completing all these modules is a must. Now in case if you have to repeat a module, it's normal and you have to follow the procedures. You have to first submit the repeat registration, which you can fill through online and then need to take a printout and take the signatures of the relevant people, then only it will be officially accepted. And there's a deadline for this repeat module submission, repeat module application submission as well. That is the first 2 weeks. So within first 2 weeks, if you are to repeat a module for a semester, you have to submit your repeat registration application. That is very important because afterwards you will not be allowed to. And beyond repeating a module, there can be certain other unfortunate situations as well. So in such circumstances, your academic work will be frozen. One thing could be you are having an academic standing which is below the requirement. If you have scored below 1.5 semester grade point average value, then you will be on probation. If you are within 1.5 to 2, it is considered as a warning. Having one of these will not stop you, but a combination will definitely stop you. The details are once again available in the performance criteria as given in section 4.5, and this performance criteria is available on the UGS website. So make sure that you read through those and you are aware of what restrictions and limitations that you have to follow. The next one is the leave of absence. You can take leave, short term, long term, or maybe medical, but you have to submit appropriate forms for authentication and once the approval is received, you are safe to continue. But make sure that you submit relevant forms, relevant documents on time without a delay. If it is within the examination, if you need medical leave, as the Deputy Registrar said, you need to submit your medicals or whatever leave request to the examinations division. If it is within the semester, you have to use the normal forms available at the UGS division. Third and fourth are, which bit more unfortunate, if you are subject to any disciplinary action, your academic work might be frozen. The fourth one is that yourself being not able to complete the degree within the maximum duration of 8 years. So the graduation requirements, which was earlier mentioned, is as such, but the most important thing here is the final statement, where you have to satisfy the curriculum requirements that belongs to you. Why I have indicated it as intake 2019 is that curriculums have slight changes from years to come or years that has passed. So the curriculum that your seniors might be following might not be the exact that you have to follow. So make sure that you look at the relevant curriculum, because it is the one that is going to be calculated or looked at when the graduation requirements are being assessed. So looking at your curriculum and following accordingly is a must. This is for the fashion design people. We do love diversity, so we have these programs as well. And there are different scenarios that follows these programs. One of the major deviations is that this program should be completed in 6 years. That is the maximum allowed. And the assessment scheme is a bit different to what happens in engineering as well. Now this one, as an undergraduate or a person who is starting an academic career, is very important. We all contribute at some stage, some way, to the knowledge dissemination. In that case, you are responsible for what you produce, what you write, what you do. But yourself alone can't generate these things, and you may have to refer the work that others have done. When you are referring to others' work, it is a must to acknowledge. If you don't acknowledge the original sources, that is not acceptable, and that is not the way things should happen. So make sure that you acknowledge whenever the resources are being taken from elsewhere, and this acknowledgement happens in different ways depending on the document or depending on the circumstances. So keep in mind, if you are taking material, you should acknowledge where the material comes from. Now to help you, we have kept available the resources. Even though the most dominant or the most prominent method is word of mouth, there can be dangerous situations where we are getting misleading information or incorrect information. So my advice is that you should follow the information available in these 4 sources. One is the Undergraduate Handbook, and the other one is the performance criteria, and both of them are produced through the Faculty of Engineering. The other one is the UGS website. As I have showed you earlier, there will be official information available and also the notices on the web page. The fourth one you will be getting at the start of semester 2 from the individual departments or field of specializations, indicating your curriculum and all the other details that you have to adhere to. If these sources doesn't help, still you can speak to people. First one is your mentor. I think you know already who is the mentor that you belongs to. The second ones or the other people would be the student coordinators that will be assigned to you in the time to come, most probably starting from the orientation sessions. And if not, we are available to help you as well, and the Undergraduate Studies Division and also even the Faculty of Engineering office people. And if you can't discuss anything or any concern with these people, there's another source of help in the form of counselors. And the list of counselors and the counselor details are available on the Undergraduate Handbook. But make sure that you follow a counselor who is from the engineering faculty, because otherwise the information provided sometimes may not help exactly for the academic work that you do. Furthermore, if you need any specific information from the division, we are available. Myself, Chulanta Jayawardena, and there are two other officers, Ms. Anuradha and Mr. Angajan, to assist you in any need. And before I conclude, the important dates, once again to repeat, starting from yesterday, the module registrations are open. So you can register online to the semester 1 modules. Your orientation program starts by the 6th and it will go up to 9. And there will be a special English program from 13th to 24th of January for the selected candidates. And most importantly, the semester starts on 27th of January, and that will also be the commencement date, not the date, but that will also commence the field familiarization program, which your attendance is compulsory, and it will be the place that most of the important information regarding field selection, field familiarization will be delivered. So make sure that you attend those workshops and gain the information that is required as a new entrant to the Faculty of Engineering. So with that, let me wish you all the very best and also a very happy new year full of academic activities, and you do follow the general rules and regulations in the university and to have a good time with us at these premises. So hope you enjoy your stay with us, and I do wish you a very good day. Thank you. No. Silence, please. There's a little notice. You are requested to be seated and you are requested to be here until we announce the groups for the enrollment registration. So that will be done from the registrations division. So please be silent and seated here until we do the announcements on the grouping.
Thank you, Dr. Chulanta. Now, actually, your thing is you have to stay here. Once your name is called, like you will be invited to go out batch-wise, let's say 10 in a group or something, then you have to register there. And there is another one that you have to remember, there will be a photograph. That photograph will be taken not here, so you will be ushered to that place. So group-wise also, again, that you have to go there for the photograph. Those who have applied for the hostel facilities, that the list, the selected students list is available in the notice board. If you just go out from the auditorium, just turn left. So that notice board, those names are there, right? So those are the information that we have to share now, right? So one thing is you have to be seated here until your name is called. The second thing, don't leave the premises today, I mean university, without taking the photograph, right? You have to, it is your responsibility, right? So you have to go to that place and take the photograph, that they will guide you to the place, but don't just go out from the university today without taking the photograph. The third one is those who have applied for the hostel facilities, you can just refer the notice board just next to this auditorium, this left side. So their names are there, right? So until that time you can stay here, you can talk, that's okay, right? But don't go here and there, right? So our senior students will arrange you some refreshments. Right. Okay, thank you.